Once global once global warming hits, it won't matter. Hey, it won't matter. What's funny is in the 90s, we had a much more aggressive estimate of how much water would be released from the ice cap.
Yeah. I don't think we ever really thought about the ice caps. It's like, oh, they're so big, they'll never melt.
Well, in the 90s, like they put out stuff like Water World that implied like almost the entire world to be underwater. But if you look at like actual maps of what would happen, it's like, oh no, the land will still be there. You're just gonna lose all your coastal cities.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a small pocket of like right-wing environmentalists in states like Oklahoma.
I mean, yeah, no, lots of states like that have right-wing conservationists. Pretty normal.
They're not going to say no to fracking, but they will say no to global warming. It's like that all them bitches out in California going to move here. Fuck that.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
We might elect a liberal congressman.
I mean, hell, Republicans have started losing stuff in Arizona because of all the people from California moving there.
Yeah, it's happening in Idaho too. I've seen it referred to as Flight of the Angelinos because most of the people are from LA. Like apparently Portland just used to be like Pittsburgh. And then people from LA started moving in and out to Portland. Wyoming, I don't think Wyoming's in any danger just because there's so little land to be had that isn't owned by the federal government. But Colorado's already.
It's just Wyoming's so dramatically underpopulated.
Yep.
It's like, I believe it's the lowest populated state in America.
There's more people in Tulsa than there is in all of Wyoming.
Jesus Christ.
By like over 150,000 too. So like, because Tulsa's sitting at like 800K right now. But like Wyoming's got some dark shit in its history, dude. The water's got so much minerals in it that like the pipes are fucked. They tested some kind of radiation stuff out there.
Oh my god.
And I mean, of course, they picked that place. Nobody fucking lives there because half the land's owned by the feds. There's tons of national parks there, so I kind of want to go to Wyoming for that because it's cheaper than Colorado.
I mean, there has to be an upside to being the least populated state.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably no such thing as traffic.
Yep. So, are you ready?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Welcome to the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Room Uncut. I'm here today in person, actually, with my good friend Gato.
So
he's going to remain in the fuzziness over here because, well, you know, he's a professional, and our stories aren't always professional.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find a job too.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful. Can't be too careful.
Yeah. No, he's, yeah.
I'm back here forever.
Yeah, he's back in the state, which is exciting for me. I needed friends. I was very lonely. But today we're doing a special thing. We're going to be listening to an album and reacting to it. And what album would that be? Well, if you're watching this anywhere with video, then you've already seen it's McGruff's Smart Kids album, Smart Kids Don't Use Drugs. A piece of propaganda pulled out in the 80s. Let's take a quick look here. Apparently, side A of this cassette tape, kids, is going to contain Winners Don't Use is the first song. No, 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 with an exclamation point, is song number 2. Marijuana is number 3. Inhalants is number 4, which is actually a serious problem. You see, you shouldn't do inhalants, but we'll get to that. Cocaine and crack is number 5. These songs are not very imaginative titled. And number 6 is alcohol, which, you know what, is the most honest thing here, because alcohol is a hard drug, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that right, Gato?
Yes. Holy shit, yes it is.
Yeah. We as a society ignore just how hard of a drug it is. It's pretty wild. It's a pretty wild thing. So let's get an earful of this, shall we?
Yeah.
McGruff here. I want you to learn a song that tells people to say no to drugs. Users are losers, and losers are used.
Already, I'm offended. Come on, man. Are you telling me Steve Jobs is a loser? Steve Jobs ate hash and took acid. Are you saying Steve Jobs is a loser? Scruff McGruff, you out here lying to the kids?
So don't use drugs. Don't use drugs. Winners don't use, and users don't win.
Except for steroids. Winners use steroids all the time. And then they get found out and people get mad about it.
So don't use drugs. Don't use drugs. If you know a user even part of the time, tell them to quit, take a bite out of crime. Users are losers, and losers are users. So don't use drugs. Don't use drugs. Okay, everybody. If you know a user even part of the time, tell them to quit, take a bite out of crime.
So wait, are they implying that there's no such thing as doing casual drugs? Is that what they're saying there?
I believe that is their point, yes.
Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand that's clearly not true. You know, plenty of people who drink or smoke occasional marijuana who don't do those things all of the time. The trick, ladies and gentlemen, is to A, be responsible and not have an addictive personality, and B, only do drugs when you're handed them at a party. This way, you never buy your own drugs. You can't get hooked.
Users are losers, and losers are users. So don't use drugs. Don't use drugs. Nice going. Now teach it to your mom and dad and brothers and sisters and friends to help take a bite out of crime. Don't use drugs.
What do you think about that part there at the end where he's like, teach this song to all your friends and family? What do you think about that?
I don't know. It's always bothered me when anti anything ads, like anti-smoking or drinking or whatever, like do it by encouraging kids to just be obnoxious to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, if you see somebody smoking a cigarette, run up and go ew at them or whatever. It's just like that just makes the people doing it like annoyed, and then they're more likely to do the thing you're trying to discourage them from doing.
Yeah, it's
like, I remember like they still do that too. When I took D.A.R.E back in like 5th grade, they had us like listening to shit like this, and I remember thinking like, I'm supposed to just go up to people and tell them no, like no. Like I was such an anxious little guy. I was terrified. I thought that you were like required by law to do that.
well, I mean, like it's very interesting because it the messaging operates on like some very like dark levels, really. Like first of all, it's propaganda. Like they're straight up being like, hey, learn this song and teach it to everyone you know. Like it's called liminal messaging. And then also the implication that you should police other individuals.
Yeah.
Like that's a big part of it. You have to police other individuals. The original cancel culture was for drugs, people. The original cancel culture was for drugs. All right. Any other thoughts before we move on to no?
Not really.
Okay. There's apparently some dead space between the songs. Oh, here it is. Got that terrible beat from Kid Rock.
You hear it across the nation. Just say no.
Okay. Does this character seem like he should have an album? Like what about McGruff Scream's musical numbers?
Dude, I don't know. They didn't limit it to this, dude. There's like cartoons too. That's what they make you watch to kill time during D.A.R.E class.
They show you cartoons in D.A.R.E class?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, they do all sorts of campy shit. Like they also bring in beer goggles. Like I'm a recovering alcoholic. I have been just as drunk as you can possibly be without your brain shutting itself off. And no, never like those goggles.
So beer goggles are a lie. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, like they have like these like thing. They look like fucking ski goggles, and they make things blurry. But it's like just way too exaggerated.
See, that's the problem. Hyperbole turns your truths into lies.
The way to resist temptation, just say no. Refuse what they try to sell you, just say no. Don't fall for the lies they tell you, just say no.
So it's interesting because the entire campaign is based off the concept that children cannot critically think. And it's not teaching you to critically think. It's like, just say no. Just say no to it. It's bad. You don't need to know why it's bad or how it's bad. It's bad. Just say no. Although I'm sure they're going to give us examples of how these things are bad.
Oh, you got some courage to show.
Just say no.
No. And let your self-respect grow.
Just say no.
No. You hear it across the nation. Just say no.
The song is very 80s. I have to say that. It's from the 80s, but like they're trying to appeal to that day's culture. In 1980, I was a year old when this came out.
Way to resist temptation. Just say no. Refuse what they try to sell you. Just say no. Don't fall for the lies they tell you. Just say no. You've got some courage to show.
Just say no.
No. And let yourself respect.
So why do you think we don't put more emphasis on teaching children things like critical thinking?
I don't know, maybe it's because if they teach too much critical thinking, they'll be critical of the parents, and that's not, if they didn't want that. I don't know. But,
The younger you learn it, the better you're going to be at it.
yeah, but like, I don't know. Really little kids are dumb as hell, though. Even how much critical thinking are they even capable of?
I mean, you're not wrong. They're supposedly, they call 7 the age of reason because that's supposedly when children can be kind of reasoned with. But at the same time, like science shows that like between the ages of 1 and 3 is when human beings do the most learning in their entire lives. It's just all by the time you're more cognitive, all the stuff you've learned that way, it's just basically built in. You're learning before you're like even aware you're learning. And then we just slowly know more but get dumber.
Just say no.
No. You've got some courage to show.
Just say no.
No. And let your self-respect grow.
Just say no.
No. That's right. Saying no tells everyone that you don't want to mess up your life by using drugs. If anyone offers you drugs, you've got to stand up for yourself and do the smart thing. Just say no.
We're going to make sure that you're arbitrarily choosing which of those drugs you can't say yes to. Because there's going to be drugs throughout your life that you're going to say yes to. They're things like coffee, cigarettes, Adderall, antidepressants, antibiotics, biotics. Plus, all those other, it's just, there's so many more psychoactive substances in our lives than we acknowledge. That's what I'm saying.
You've got some courage to show.
Just say no.
No, no, no.
No, I have to say, I like the other song better.
Just say
And I don't, I'm not saying the other song's good, but this song,
You've got some courage.
I'm already bored of it.
Just wait till the next one. It's
Oh, God.
Let yourself respect, bro.
Well, it is the marijuana songs.
No, no.
Marijuana is medicine.
You've got some courage to show.
Just say no.
Yeah, they're celebrating.
And let yourself respect, bro.
It's not even Catholic.
No, no, no.
That song needed to tell a story, and it didn't. All right, what do we think of that second song?
That one's probably one of the most like obvious propaganda songs, just because they repeated that hook like
Oh, no,
like
yeah.
5 times.
That song sucks. I don't like that song at all. It is boring and propaganda. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Already.
Marijuana, don't try it at all.
There's a lot of drugs in the world, and frankly, I'd rather my kids didn't do any drugs until they were adults. But if they came to me and told me they had tried marijuana, I would be slightly relieved compared to most drugs. Also, I like the music a lot better than the first one already. And it's not necessarily a thing I'm a fan of.
It's a lie. It's like beating your head on a wall.
No, that is the furthest experience from smoking weed. Like the furthest possible, beating your head on the wall. You talking about like brain damage? Because that's not a thing either.
Say no way. Marijuana's a fast way to fall.
Not if you're taking edibles. It can take up to an hour.
Cause it's doing you no good at all. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it.
Okay. There's a lot of ways to gamble with your life. Arguably, we gamble with our life every time we get inside a motor vehicle. It's technically, statistically, the most dangerous thing that we all do every day. You're not gambling with your life with marijuana. There is a lot of drugs that can kill you. Marijuana is not one of them. Did you ever feel like you were gambling with your life when you were smoking weed?
No.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, it's
Like usually if I smoke too much, I just kind of sit. It's really even dangerous.
yeah, no. Overdosing of marijuana just looks like sitting on the couch extra long. Or if it's a really strong sativa, pacing a lot.
Your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know,
Your life is a gift, don't abuse it. You know, you forget how like default religious everything was in the 80s. Like kids nowadays, you don't understand. It was assumed all characters in all media were going to church.
Never try marijuana, don't try.
Drum machines. It's nice to do a guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, see, that's another thing about the sound quality of this album. It's a cassette. This is ripped from a cassette, so I can't tell if it's just shitty in the bad way production, or if it's just because this was ripped from a fucking cassette.
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds a lot better than I expected it to when I saw it was a cassette rip. But cassettes actually weren't that bad. They could
Yeah,
store
I like cassettes.
they could store a lot.
It at all. It's a lie. It's like beating your head on a wall.
They came back to that one.
Yeah.
They came back to beating your head on the wall.
Have you noticed that there's no specific examples given about how marijuana can allegedly do bad things to you?
Yeah.
It's just, hey, it's bad, don't do it. And alternatively, they also say life is good, but they don't say why.
And look, man, marijuana is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people aren't going to get along with marijuana. Some people are going to be too lazy on marijuana. Some people might get physically uncomfortable on marijuana. At the end of the day, it's still pretty low stakes stuff. Also, some people with certain genetic disorders and pre-existing mental conditions in their family also probably shouldn't smoke weed.
Say no way. Marijuana's a fast way to fall. You will pay, cause it's doing you no good at all. And you know.
Is there any part of this song that doesn't get repeated?
No, because they have to repeat it to make sure the children remember it. I assume it was probably written with the idea that by the second time around they'll remember it and start singing it, and then that'll help commit it to memory. I don't know. I don't think we listened to this and I took D.A.R.E. I'm pretty sure just the VHS tapes.
So is that what Scruff McGruff is from, D.A.R.E?
Yeah, pretty much. But he wasn't the mascot anymore when I took it. They switched over to that lion.
Oh, I vaguely
The
remember that.
meathead lion that just got a dopey grin on his face.
I was homeschooled, so I never went through D.A.R.E.
He didn't miss a whole lot. Like,
Which is,
dude, it's a waste. Like,
it's also probably why I didn't try drugs until I was an adult.
Yeah, they do it in like 5th grade usually, and it's just like a police officer comes to your class once a week and you learn about how drugs are bad. But 90% of the teaching was done by the VHS tapes. I forget the officer's name, but he was just like, he was clearly from a very small town in rural Ohio and just like hadn't seen a whole lot of that. Maybe, and he just like was like, yeah, it's bad. And then and then he put a video on, and we watched like 5 or 6 fucking videos. And I remember one time he was just listing shit that was better to do than drugs. And he was grasping at straws after like 3, and it took him a considerable amount of effort to come up with twiddle your thumbs.
Wow.
And he was being serious.
If you got
Like, my brain is like, of course he was being serious, but my brain is also like, what the fuck?
with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow.
Like, the song is just so
'Cause your
repetitive.
life is a gift, don't abuse
What are we
it.
doing with this?
If you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow.
Like a song that's entirely
Cause
just
your life is a
like,
gift, don't abuse it.
There's no.
A lot of people
No.
think that marijuana isn't dangerous, but they're wrong. Because not only does it harm a person's body and mind, but it often leads users to try other, even more dangerous drugs.
There it is.
And you know,
I've never done heroin. I've never done cocaine. I've never done meth. I haven't really done any stimulants that weren't prescribed to me by a doctor. And I've never taken any opiates that weren't prescribed to me by a doctor. If you like marijuana, it is not an indicator that you will like opiates or other harder drugs. The sensations and experiences that these drugs offer are dramatically different, and they attract different kinds of people.
If you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow. Cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you gamble
sound
with
far
life,
off.
you can lose it. Gotta grow. Cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. Oh.
Whoo! Whew. Marijuana, not a good song. Not good. Oh my God. Now, like, okay, so far what I've experienced here is I feel like I shouldn't expect them to go into any significant detail on any of these things and why they're problematic. Which would actually be disappointing because then what the hell? But number 4 is inhalants. And yeah, don't do inhalants. That's it's just not good for you. There's no inhalants that you're supposed to be taking. Well, I mean, I guess asthma medicine. And it's okay if your dentist gives you nitrous, but don't do nitrous all the time. It causes nerve damage. Oh, and don't have paint. Oh my God, so wait. But what else should I expect?
Learn a lesson so true. There's danger in inhalants. They can break you in two. So never sniff inhalants. Breathing them is really no thrill. Don't you know inhalants really can kill?
Don't do inhalants.
You'll be suffering pain.
Don't do inhalants.
They will damage your brain.
Don't do inhalants.
That is actually the first true negative consequence they've mentioned.
Yeah.
Not all inhalants necessarily damage your brain the same way, but a number of inhalants are killing your brain cells. That is true. Although, like, this song still largely sounds like so far these songs all sound like they were handed the title first, and then they just improvised the first thing that came to their minds.
I feel like this was probably written over the course of a weekend.
I wonder how high they were.
Cause it's really insane.
I can't say no.
Cause inhalants kill. Learn a lesson so true. There's danger in inhalants. They can break you in two. So never sniff inhalants. Breathing them is really no thrill. Don't you know inhalants really can kill?
Don't do inhalants.
You'll be suffering
Are there
pain.
actually any verses in these goddamn
They will
songs?
damage your brain.
Like, if everything is just everything is a chorus or a bridge. Like,
Cause inhalants
all,
kill.
like what is this, a heavy metal album?
Just because something is safe to use one way doesn't mean it's safe to use another way. Cleaners, sprays, and other household chemicals can become deadly poisons when inhaled. Don't ever try it. Just say no to inhalants. Breathing them is really no thrill. Don't you know inhalants really can kill?
Don't do inhalants.
You'll be suffering pain.
Don't do inhalants.
They will damage your brain.
Don't do inhalants.
Cause it's really insane.
Mark can't say no.
Cause inhalants kill.
Don't do inhalants.
Sometimes it almost feels like they were focused on making sure they rhyme.
Yeah.
They will damage your brain.
Don't do inhalants.
Cause it's really insane.
Mark
'cause inhalants kill. Don't do inhalants. Don't do inhalants. Don't do inhalants. Don't do inhalants.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, the songwriting's pretty bad. Like I'm even disappointed in terms of like the quality of the propaganda or narrative they're trying to make. Like it's not even good propaganda. Is what I'm saying. Like it's just like how come none of these songs have told a story? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that
how-
would be, because that would take effort. You're trying to just crank this out.
Like why isn't there a story like poor little Johnny started doing crack cocaine and now he's out here in all this pain? Like
Yeah.
why not tell a story with it? Why not make it interesting? Make there be some type of human angle. Like it's not even good promotion. It's obvious why this failed, people. All right, next up is cocaine and crack. It's already wrong. It's already wrong. Does this tone seem like it should be about cocaine and crack?
Yeah.
Also, that's another thing. All these songs, the beats sound like they could be on any kid's album.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably written with like one keyboard that had built-in drum machine, and they had a guitar player come.
But like, where are the minor chords? Where's anything to make it sound scary or sad?
Because they're trying to make it fun for the, like, see, not doing drugs is fun.
But like,
What I think about
the messaging
Using crack and cocaine to get high. That's what you say you love. But it's really insane. You could die. What are you thinking of? 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're
Sometimes you can tell music and lyrics may not have been written at the same time when there's some part of the song where someone is like just either like saying several words really fast or saying one word really long.
burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. Just a snort or a smoke in your greed, that's all you care about. But your life is a joke.
Okay, so actually this one's a little bit better.
yeah, okay.
At least it's like acting like it's at least
It's
it's
saying that how highly addictive it is, but like it's not. Probably, I feel like it's not gonna.
yeah, no. It's still not good enough, but like at least it's doing something like giving it some level of perspective, like it's calling someone selfish for doing crack cocaine.
Mhm.
Which is a step up in terms of storytelling, I guess.
And you need someone to help you out. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. There is help available for people who have a problem with cocaine or crack addiction. Have them call 1-800-COCAINE for advice. And if someone ever offers you crack or cocaine,
Hey man, is this 1-800 cocaine? Yeah, so how quick can I get the cocaine? What do you mean that's not what this hotline is for? Well, the guy at D.A.R.E said I misunderstood. No, come on, man, just give me the cocaine. No, but seriously, if you need help, call 1-800-COCAINE. think that number still works.
Probably not.
We have no idea, but there are
It might have like changed to something else.
places you can go for help though. Stop doing cocaine. It's a waste of your money.
Cocaine, be smart. Just say no. Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it.
Unless you got to work 2 doubles. You know, that's the reason a lot of people do those kind of stimulants is to survive, they got to work 80 hours a week. It's a big reason some people do it. Still shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess.
Just imagining like crack or cocaine addicts, like just get into the part where it's like nobody needs crack and cocaine. They just like flip out, like throw the CD. It's like, what the fuck do you know? I know that I need it right now.
Mess of your mind. Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind.
Wow. Okay.
That one was the closest to like actually being helpful.
I was gonna say, it's still not great, but
yeah,
that
they
is
still don't elaborate at all.
so far still the best song on the album. Cocaine and crack. Even though it really should be crack and cocaine. Just
Yeah.
it just flows better. But now we come to the next song, Alcohol. The drug that ruins the most people's lives. Oh, what the fuck?
Hey, open up your eyes. You've got to see.
Country would have been way better. Although I will say that guitar intro seems better than this song does.
Yeah, the guitar guy on this ain't bad. They don't give him a whole lot of space on the song because they got a victory lap of fucking hook as many times as possible.
Again, I would not be surprised if playing the music on this album was somebody's community service for doing drugs.
Yeah, it's just like every fucking song has a section where he's just like, "Hey, don't do it, don't you do it."
For the kids who can't read subtext.
Alcohol fills your world with lies. Listen to me.
I thought marijuana.
It's no good when you're drinking. It won't show you the way.
So like this is one thing I will say is that a lot of people like to believe that like alcohol makes people more honest. But like that's not actually true.
Yeah, it just lowers your inhibitions.
Yeah, no. So like if you're a liar, you're going to be more likely to lie.
Mhm.
And if a person says it when they're drunk, what it means is it's something they really want to say when they're sober, and they just haven't been.
Yeah.
There's still some secrets they probably won't tell you.
Yeah, that's how you lose friends when you start drinking all the time. Eventually, you piss somebody off somehow.
And another thing, Mark, I'm sick of your voice. We get it. You've got a big house and a beautiful wife and an amazing penis. I never said that. Well, we're all thinking it.
Hey, you'd better start thinking. Being straight is okay. It seems so very.
Oh man.
Being straight is okay. Fun fact, everybody. Fun fact. in the vernacular, straight also used to mean you didn't do any kind of drugs. Straight stands for straight and narrow. And at a certain point, someone was like, that means no drugs and gay sex. So technically, if you do drugs, you're not straight. Now, this might come as a surprise to some people. You've been not straight this whole time. It doesn't mean you have to go out and start having gay sex, but you're not straight anymore.
Nice. But you'd best be looking twice. Cause you will have to pay a price. You're gonna lose someday.
With alcohol, that is a statistical likelihood.
Still, they don't elaborate.
No, it's true.
Even though alcohol is the easiest one to elaborate.
Kids, alcohol basically shuts down your brain, making it harder for you to do things like drive a motor vehicle, operate heavy machinery, or do that game where you take a knife and stab it in between all your fingers. Don't do that drunk. Oh my God. Like, that sound like
Do you
sounds like
believe
Diet
when
Santana.
they tell you it's neat? Don't fall for what they say.
You think that neat line was an alcohol pun?
Probably. I bet they were patting themselves on the back extra hard after that one.
You don't get it, ask your alcoholic friends.
Let me repeat.
You know who they are.
Can't you see it can hurt you? Getting drunk for a thrill. Real friends won't desert you. Don't you know it can kill? It seems so very nice.
Who is his band? Who is his backup band? Who are these people? Where did he find them? Why are they willing to work with a dog?
Yeah, it's work.
I mean, that's true.
Some people are really good at music but have severe stage anxiety, so studio work is all that they do.
That's a good point.
But you'd best be looking twice. Cause you will have to pay a price. You're gonna lose.
He's right, by the way. Alcohol is rarely free. Not a cheap drug.
Yeah, especially if you're using it every day and your tolerance gets so jacked that you have to drink an entire bottle of something to feel it. Like,
Yeah, no.
even if you buy the cheap shit, it adds up. Like,
Marijuana may seem like expensive prices. However, ultimately, it's a lot cheaper than alcohol. Get a medical card.
Someday. It's no good when you're drinking. It won't show you the way.
It's true. Alcohol has never shown anyone the way anywhere.
yeah. Except to the bathroom a lot.
True. You hope. Some people have peed in closets.
I mean, that's more of a black.
True. True.
That's just your brain being on autopilot.
I'm very lucky. The only time I ever blacked out, I know what I was doing. It's because I was laying down on a couch, and then I would just occasionally like sit up to vomit. I didn't do that thing where apparently you walk all over the place.
Yeah, I did that a lot. Like, I blacked out like at least 10 times altogether, which isn't bad. Like, I knew, like, when I was drinking my heaviest, I knew people who, like, one guy I drank with was like, "Oh, I black out every day." Like,
Jesus.
why?
Wow. That means that, like, whew, you gotta hate reality to,
Like
to do that.
eventually your stomach starts to hurt and you eat some.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this was my drinking buddy that he drank Bud Light and the schnapps called oh, what was it? Oh, it was like this. It's gonna drive me nuts. It's like this really, really high proof schnapps. Black House. That was it. It's called Black House.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard of that.
Oh my god. There's a reason they call it Black House.
Is it because you black out?
Oh yeah.
You better
like,
be in your
dude, that
house.
shit is so intense. Like I took like a shot of that one time and just I'm pretty sure it made me puke immediately. It's so strong.
Good lord.
It's not like like illegal moonshine strong, but it's pretty up there, and it's just straight up blackout fuel, dude. This dude drank. Only reason this dude drank Bud Light was because the bartenders wouldn't let him just have a shot after shot after shot, so he started drinking Bud Light to like kill time.
Good lord. I had a friend who got a jar of moonshine at a festival, and it had peaches in it, like actual like half peaches in there. One day before we were going to a party, he just ate all the peaches out of it.
Oh, that's getting killer.
Yeah, no, it was the drunkest I'd ever seen him. It like
I've had the illegal shit like one time, like this is like 10 years ago now. My roommate at the time traded a bunch of pot for a case of this moonshine from Georgia that he knew a guy that had that somehow. And like, oh, I drank like a quarter of the jar, like as quickly as I could just to see what would happen. I got really drunk really quick. I would go like I would cough after I took a sip because it would like it was that like just unpleasant. And I didn't get a flavored one. I got just like straight up white lightning.
yeah.
And over the course of the night, I drank half of that mason jar of the moonshine, and I was so drunk that I hallucinated.
Oof.
Like I kept seeing a dog in the backyard that wasn't really there.
Damn. Too much of anything can pretty much make you hallucinate people.
Yeah.
Including Benadryl. So watch out.
Hey, you'd better start thinking. Being straight is okay.
Yes, being straight is okay, people. There's nothing wrong with being straight unless you want to get high. Yeah. It's funny how vernacular changes. Honestly, I thought it changed before the 80s. This was a funny surprise. How old was the person who wrote the songs? Well, that one just stops like that. Okay, second side. Okay, now we've got Just Say No, Smart Kids, the name of the album. Make Your Body Last. That, I don't know what to say about that one. I'll decide on my own. Come on.
Oh, that one's great.
Come on.
Just wait, that is just wait.
And the last one, I'm Glad I'm Me. Which, that sounds positive. That sounds positive. Let's see what we got going on here with side 2.
Mama, maybe other kids are doing drugs and saying that you really ought to come along. Mama, maybe they don't know that trouble will be staying, so you ought to sing this song. Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. Be afraid to walk away from trouble. Taking drugs is really not the way. Then never hesitate, just get out on the double, and you know exactly what to say.
So what do we think about this song so far?
It's kind of like the first track on the first side.
Yeah,
Pretty
no.
much the exact same song.
It's like it was like there were two writers, and they were each like, okay, first song would be okay, we're gonna write a song about just saying no. And then they came back and realized that both of them had written a song about just saying no. And they were like, I guess we use both of them. Yeah, just put one on each side.
Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. Just say no. You know, kids, your friends don't have any right to tell you what to do with your own body.
So if your friends want you to do drugs and you don't want to do drugs, you tell them no. And if your friends say, hey, I don't want you to do drugs, you do as many drugs as you want. It's your body and you make the choices. These are mixed messages, D.A.R.E.
It's something you decide for yourself. So if someone tries to get you to abuse drugs, don't waste time arguing with them. You don't have to say why you won't take drugs. Just say no.
Because you also don't need to know why you shouldn't take drugs. Like,
Because they're bad.
like it's hilarious that like he's literally saying, make up your own mind. Here's what you should say. In like the same sentences. It's absurd.
That's like the running theme of the entire side of this tape. I'll decide on my own. So just wait for I'll decide on my own.
Oh my god.
Just say no. Just say no.
When my parents used to go to all the Grateful Dead shows when I was a kid, my dad would have bumper stickers that he made that he would either sell or trade for things at the shows. And what they said was just say no, but no was spelled K-N-O-W. You know, because knowledge is more powerful than propaganda.
Just say no. 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 Just say no.
So repetitive. So repetitive. So repetitive. It's 2.5 minutes long. Oh, thank God it's over.
Smart kids.
Yeah, let's see what being a smart kid is. Is it doing as you're told?
Using drugs, smart kids know that it.
Like, I mean, like, I don't know what I should expect because it's from the 80s, but like the 80s-ness of it sometimes it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's wrong, feeling good. Smart kids know they belong. Moving up. Smart kids reaching a star, being sure. Smart kids know who they are, and it's true. Truly, it's true. You should never do drugs. You can just say no because it's true. Truly, it's true.
Come on, guys. There's a million drugs in the world. And this is how many songs you wrote that were essentially just the same song.
You don't need to do drugs, and the smart kids know that it's true.
Actually, statistically, this is not true. People with high intelligence are prone to substance abuse. Fun fact. It's because their brain craves more novelty than dum-dums. which is not. I'm not saying you should use your intelligence as an excuse to do drugs. That's not what I'm saying. Just for context.
Wrong, feeling good. Smart kids know they belong. Moving up. Smart kids reaching a star, being sure.
Do you think smart kids know where they belong? Or do you think there's like a historic, or do you feel like there's a historical feeling that smart kids are have trouble fitting in and often feel ostracized for being smart? Which do you think? Do you think one of these happens?
I mean, I'm thinking back to when I was in like high school or something. Most of the people that were in like the National Baccalaureate program and the Honor Society were all just massive fucking potheads.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that at the time for some of them.
See?
but I've heard some things since.
My statistics are true. Smart kids do drugs. Okay. All the AP kids doing drugs. Okay.
Smart kids know who they
Yeah, it's never everybody. It's never everybody.
are, and it's true. Truly, it's true. You should never do drugs. You can just say no because it's true. Truly, it's true. You don't need to do drugs, and the smart kids know that it's true. Smart kids know that they don't have to use drugs to be somebody special. They know that drugs can really hurt them, and they want to live happier, healthier lives. That's why smart kids just say no.
But if you're listening to this song, you're probably not smart. So let me spell out the concept of the song to you in a direct monologue. This is what this song is about, in case you were too dumb to understand.
And it's true, truly it's true. You should never do drugs. You can just say no because it's true. Truly it's true. You don't need to do drugs, and the smart kids know that it's true. And it's true, truly it's true. You should never do drugs. You can just say no because it's true. Truly it's true. You don't need to do drugs, and the smart kids know that it's true.
It's very patronizing.
Yeah, I mean, it's aimed at little kids, but they don't know they're being patronized too.
So about 10 is when we start teaching kids about drugs?
Yeah, give or take. And then, yeah, D.A.R.E was in 5th grade for me. Oh, there's a graduation ceremony for D.A.R.E too, by the way.
Of course there is.
It's a weekend thing because it took like 2 or 3 hours. First, you go out there and we had to sing songs about how drugs are bad, and then there would be like a skit of some sort, and then more songs. There's like song, then skit, then song, then skit, and then you had to write an essay for D.A.R.E. And if the teacher decided yours was the best one, you had to read it in front of everybody.
I'm gonna punish you for succeeding.
The entire school and all the parents. I did not get asked to do that. My little brother that did though, and he hated it.
I had to get so high to be comfortable saying that thing in front of everyone. No, I'm kidding.
And then it ended with this one big song, and I remember some of it, like the hook that they probably victory lapped 90 times. I was like, dare to take a stand, dare to be free, dare to say no, and hold on to your dreams. It is your life. You can choose your destiny. Dare to take a stand for you and me.
But what if your dream is to be Jim Belushi?
They're even vague about what your dreams can be.
Jim Belushi's dream was clearly to own a pot farm. Fucking D.A.R.E, man.
Yeah, but then like a 10th or 11th. Then there was like more shit in 7th grade, and then more shit in like 10th or 11th grade,
Makes sense.
and it was no better.
There's no better when talking to the teenagers.
Yeah. I mean, a cop doesn't teach it in middle and high school, but in high school, like it's like a gym teacher thing. Gym teachers run that class usually, so they're fucking just dunces too. Like our guy was like this hard. He was the most hardcore Catholic dude I've ever met, and he would like. I remember that he'd seen alcoholism before because he also grew up in a rural Southern Ohio town, and he went on a tirade on drinking day. Oh my god, he was like, "Said I'll put some you drinking this room right now," and he was like, "We should go up to your mom and say I'm not having milk. And to your mom, I'm gonna have beer instead. You think she would like that?" I was like, my dad would be the one putting his foot down if I said I wanted beer for dinner. It's his beers.
You're gonna go out and buy your own beer, son?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the middle school gym teacher being a lot more reasonable about alcohol. Like, hey, everybody, this isn't an illegal thing. It's gonna be everywhere when you're old enough. Just know it's okay to have it sometimes, but it starts becoming a problem when it's when you're not doing it for fun and you're just getting blasted for the sake of it. So just keep that in mind. It's okay if you end up consuming this, it doesn't make you a bad person, but don't do it all the time and do not drive.
Okay, at least he was specific about the don't.
Yeah. So in hindsight, he was probably speaking from experience, one way or the other.
This is make your body limp.
When some other kids are taking drugs and want you to play.
So the thing is, though, is that like, how often do people get offered drugs out of the blue? Because like
that has never happened to me ever.
Yeah, like
I when I was strung out, I was looking for the people selling it. They weren't coming to me.
Yeah, like that's kind of the thing, is that like people with drugs aren't normally just giving them out.
Yeah, and if someone has offered me drugs, it's like a hit off a joint or something. Like
yeah.
And they don't care if you say no. They don't care if you say yes either. It's just them being polite.
Because a person typically has to assume that you are some level of cool before they will offer you drugs.
Yeah.
And I mean cool as in the original context, which is not a narc.
Yeah.
If you care, really care about what goes inside you, you'll say, no way, 'cause it's your body. You've got to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right, 'cause it's your body.
Also, don't get a manual labor job if you want your body to last.
You've got to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right.
Or food service.
When some kids, other kids are
Also, don't get an office job where you sit down all the time. That's apparently as bad for you as smoking.
taking drugs and want you to play.
Capitalism is really what destroys your body, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Today, if you care, really care about what goes inside you, you'll say, no way.
And then the anti-vax movement was born. Seriously, this song feels like it could be refitted to be anti-vax.
Yeah.
'Cause it's your body. You've got to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right. 'Cause it's your body. You've got
Get exercise, eat fruits and vegetables. That's how to take care of your body.
to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right. Just think, in all the world, there's only one you, and anything you ever do will be done in your body. Since bodies are made to last a good long time, don't hurt yours by putting drugs in it. Just say no. When some kids
However, steroids have been known to reduce inflammation and could potentially lead to a prolonged life.
other kids are taking drugs and want you to play today. If you care, really care about what goes inside you, you'll say, no way.
This could also be about not, this could also be a song about not having sex.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go that way with it. I mean, it's not like it's well written or thought out in any way. They could throw that in there.
Sometimes kids will give you drugs to have sex with your body, and you don't want to do that.
Cause it's your body, you've got to make it last. It's your body, treat it right. Cause it's your body, you've got to make it.
Just have this image of like some obnoxious middle school kid who's hitting puberty pretty hard, just like turning to a girl in the classroom and going like, "I'll treat your body right," and then everyone being like, "Oh God, gross, Bobby." What? It's what my dad says is normal. You guys want to go catcall people and try and find porno mags? Bobby, what's wrong with your dad?
Last it's your body, treat it right. Cause it's your body, you've got to make it last. It's your body, treat it right. Cause it's your body.
So this is the part of the propaganda where they say something that's roughly true, which you think you should take care of your body. That is important. It's not actually guaranteed that doing occasional drugs will absolutely destroy your body, but you probably don't want to abuse them. But however, good advice and putting truth next to ridiculous hyperbole and lies is how they get you.
You've got to make it last. It's your body, treat it right. Cause it's your body, you've got to make it last. It's your body, treat it right. Cause it's your body, you've got to make it last. It's your body, treat it right. Treat it right. Treat it right. Treat it right.
I now have a theory that this album was written as a creative way for this guy to teach himself how to use his new Casio keyboard. Because he's getting better at all the features as the album progresses. Like he figured out how to sample with it.
Getting better at this, guys. We only needed 4 songs, so hear me out. A few more songs, you can have a whole cassette. And also, I'll finally be really good at this keyboard. All right, next up should be I'll Decide on My Own.
Oh, here we go. This one is great.
An intensely ironic concept for propaganda. Propaganda that's specifically trying to tell you how to behave. Oh my God. What? Full house with
I
that.
like my body, and I'll decide about what I ought to be putting inside. And drugs will hurt me, I know they're wrong. My friends
This is the
may
same
laugh at me,
concept
but
as the
this is
last
my
song.
They'll never make me, they'll never shake me, they'll never make me decide on my own.
Like, the concept here, though, is flawed, though, because they
I
want
like my
they want
body,
you to
and I'll
think,
decide.
they want you to think that when you do what they say, that's you deciding on your own.
Yeah.
This is how propaganda gets you, people. Because you have to believe that you are acting as an individual for the propaganda to work.
About what I ought to be putting inside, and drugs will hurt me, I know they're wrong. My friends may laugh at me, but this is my song. They'll never
Your friends will laugh at you.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they will.
If you sing this song in public, they're gonna laugh at you. And it's gonna be hard. Hard to argue with.
They'll never shake me. They'll never make me decide on my own. You know, it's always a good idea to make your own decisions. So if your friends ever try to talk you into doing something you know can hurt you, like using drugs, just
How dumb do they think 10-year-olds are?
Extremely dumb.
Like, I feel like 10-year-olds are at least smarter than this.
decide on your own. Say no thanks. They'll never make me. They'll never shake me. They'll never make me. They'll never shake me. Decide on my own. Yes, I'll decide on my own. Yes, I'll decide on my own. Yes, I'll decide on my own.
Decide on your own, like how I taught you. Me, McGruff, the talking crime dog.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We're off to
This is the
a
most-
weird start.
This is like some boingo boingo type shit.
Oh wow. I'm glad I'm me.
I like being me. And I know that you
I
agree.
forgot this one.
It is so very true. You're the best at being you. Really you. Really you. Yeah. I like every day. Every day. I can work and I can play. I play. Every day when it's done.
They clearly just needed a alert.
Fuck, you want already? Considering McGruff's vocal range, we're actually extremely lucky. This isn't what all the songs fucking sound like.
Yeah. I mean, they're all in the same key and the same tempo for the most part, but yeah, that's what
Done. I look back
called
on
to
all
go
the
from
fun.
hardcore or rap or
Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Because my life is really great. I'm gonna celebrate.
But hear me out. What if your life's not really great? Then what, McGruff? Then what am I supposed to do with this shit?
Well, I'm glad I'm me. Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Because my life is really great. I'm gonna celebrate. Drugs are not for.
For a second, it really sounded like he was saying, "I'm gonna celebrate drugs."
Celebrate.
For me.
You know you've got a lot going for yourself.
Oh, robot voice.
I'm
Robot voice.
Yeah,
That's what's
an
been
80s
missing.
That's an 80s thing we haven't done yet.
That's what's
There
been
you go.
missing. Robot voices.
glad I'm free.
Everything's fine, everything's super duper.
Drugs are not for me.
You have to keep your body strong, your brain sharp.
I'm so
Yes, listen to the machine, children. Our new masters, the machines.
glad I'm free. Feeling good, like I should. I like being me. Being me. And I know that you agree. Agree. It is
This is one of the longest songs on this album.
Yeah.
Side note.
so very true. You're the best at being you. Really you. Really you. Yeah. I like every day. Every day.
What are children supposed to do with this?
And he shows the kids, and then if they have like start feeling depressed about something, they go like, "I don't like being me right now. Kids all do drugs." So this tape may have had the opposite effect. I mean, it did. Their program was a horrible failure. It still is.
Yeah, no, it turns out to children it looks a lot like glamorizing drugs when adults come in and talk to you about it all the time.
Yeah.
I can work and I can play. I play. Every day when it's done, I look back on all the fun. Lots of fun. Yes, I'm glad.
The fun we have doing drugs.
I'm me. Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Because my life is really great. I'm gonna celebrate. Well, I'm glad I'm me. Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Because my life is really great. I'm gonna celebrate. Drugs.
Whoops.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Are
No, they did not.
not for me.
You know you've got a lot going for yourself now.
I'm so glad I'm free.
What if a kid, like, at the end of the song just looks up at them and goes, "Oh yeah? Well, what do I got going for me?
You're you.
What are you talking about, kid? The robot said I had a lot going for me, and I don't know what it is. So I think you should tell me if you wanted me to take this seriously." Get that kid some Ritalin.
Everything's fine, everything's super duper.
Drugs are not for me.
You want to keep your body strong, your brain sharp.
I'm so glad I'm free.
I hear steroids are great for that.
Yeah, Coke's good for that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Making your body strong?
I mean, it makes you pace a lot. And it makes your brain strong because you're very focused.
You just think everything's a good idea.
I'm very excited about their bad ideas very quickly.
I'm so glad I'm me. Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Because my life is really great. I'm gonna celebrate. Well, I'm glad I'm me. Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Because my life is really great. I'm gonna celebrate. Well, I'm glad
I
I'm
didn't do it
me.
that time. I didn't do it that time.
Yes, I'm glad I'm me. Because my life is really great. I'm gonna celebrate.
But how do you celebrate without drugs? Like, that's the thing. I'm kidding. There's lots of ways to celebrate without drugs. Like music or dancing. Things that also get you high. Okay.
There it is, the Scruff McGruff Smart Kids album.
There it is. That was, oh.
How does this auto play through?
That's a great question. I don't know how that's the song that comes up after that. All right, so let's see. We got any final thoughts on this? I mean, it's kind of exactly what I thought it would be, which is that it's soulless propaganda made by adults who neither understand children nor drugs.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Gato?
Not really. I mean, it's just really vague with all of it. That's probably one of the reasons why it failed. Like, it's bad, and if you do it, bad stuff will happen. Like what? Bad stuff. Like,
Yeah, no. I mean, one of the things that the people don't really seem to understand is okay. So, like, there's so many logical ways to even lay it out. Like, you gotta, if you're gonna tell kids it's bad, then you gotta tell them what the negative side effects are, and you can't lie about it. Otherwise, kids will try drugs and they'll be like, "That was a lie. All drugs must be secretly awesome."
I mean, that's why I started doing drugs. I mean, shit. First time I got high, it was on fucking Percocet. Like, because I felt like because I felt like I was being lied to. And then when I didn't die or get arrested when I was on that Percocet, I was like, they're probably lying about all the other ones too.
Yeah.
And apparently it's the case for a lot of the people, especially in my generation, that ended up just drinking a lot or doing a lot of drugs because you think it's all a lie.
Yep.
And I remember the first time I heard this after my sister sent it to me. Because she teaches 5th grade at a private school, though. Private schools don't really do D.A.R.E. And she was looking at like don't do drugs type stuff, and that came up. And she didn't use it for her class at all because it was so bad.
I mean, I can't blame her. I can't blame her. It's not a thing it will not achieve the goal you want.
I am almost positive someone has compiled all the lyrics to these songs. It's probably really easy to do just because that's the one thing they do well. They enunciate and they don't
And
screw themselves over with the tempo.
and the songs lyrics are very repetitive.
Yeah. Make sure they stick in your dumb idiot little kid brains.
Mhm. Brainwashing, everyone. Brainwashing. Yeah. Well, that was pretty hilarious stuff.
Yeah, that last track though, just
Yeah,
Best one.
no.
best one,
Wow.
hands down.
I mean, in the ironic sense, yes.
Yeah.
In terms of the music, quite possibly one of the worst.
In the case of almost doing a good thing, it had to be that. What was it?
The cocaine one, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was coke and crack, where they didn't mention crack once and mainly focused on coke.
It's all the same shit,
To them.
just different area codes. Well, yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, thank you for listening / watching. Please like and subscribe wherever you're listening or watching, and also make sure you subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. All righty. Anything else you want to say, Gato?
Nah, not really. I think the album did all the talking for us.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All we had to do was some light riffing. All right. Well, thank you for listening. You can also reach out to me at rubenuncut@gmail.com. Have a stellar whatever.